This show is part of the HeadStuff podcast network.
Lovely stuff.
Hey, lovely, lovely.
I tell you what, though, folks, that's bloody nice. That is bloody lovely.
Lovely Holland. Lovely touch. Lovely Holland. Lovely touch.
Phew!
Two thumbs up.
And Granny fell off the bus.
What?
That used to be when we were at kids' birthdays parties. I don't know why we used to sing instead of "And So Say All of Us." We sang "And Granny Fell Off the Bus."
Wow. That's
And
cute.
I have tried to find anyone else in my life that this happened to, and no one knows it.
That's purely down. That's your school.
I think it's actually my friend Brian. I think it's literally his family. And I don't know if there's like a deep-rooted trauma that their granny did actually fall off the bus and
You
they're
think
trying to
that's-
laugh their way through
That's
it.
laugh your way through the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just Brian's. Is that Brian the lad?
Who lifted you up?
So we were out after.
Pure
Hello,
chant.
hello everybody. This is the
Hello.
lovely show.
Hello.
Justine Stafford, Kevin McGarren.
That's us.
Justine's just talking about a bizarre thing that they used to do in school. So we were out after the Bureau de Change,
Oh, yeah.
and I heard a voice somewhere in the pub, and it sounded exactly like Justine Stafford,
But a man.
but a man. And it was like a lad doing a really good impression of you when you were doing like pure knobber. And I was like, Justine, there's another boy who sounds like you. And you're like, oh yeah, I know that lad. That's my friend
best
Brian.
friend, Brian. I love that you just thought there was another Nabber person in the wild. There.
I've never met anyone else from Nobber.
There you go.
I don't think it really exists.
I know, and like Brian was, oh God, love him now. He was fangirling you hard and trying to hide it in. He was so
Was he?
excited. Yeah.
He's a big man.
He's a big man now.
He lifted
and
me up.
lifted you up.
He did lift me up.
And he's been on to me so many times since, been like, will you tell Kevin I'm sorry? I hope I didn't mess it up with Kevin. Like, I think he thinks you're going to go on another date or
No,
something.
because you know what? He had that sort of culty confidence
He did.
that I immediately respected.
Now, sometimes Brian, with a few too many pints in him, can go a little too hard. The volume is more the issue. There's nights I've been out sober with Brian, and you reach a point where you're like, I know, I'm going to have to go now before I lose my eardrum.
Yeah, he does talk like he's recently been swimming. And he's got a clog in both ears.
Oh, that's him to a T. And like, honestly, the more pints he has.
Ordering pints of milk at the bar. Can I have a pint of milk there, please?
He literally, this weekend, I'm not joking you, like his story up, and like my other friends from Dublin were like screenshotting it, sent to me, were like, I want to just to follow him for 24 hours. They organised a Shanky Fest, that's his surname, and it was like
Shanky.
Shanky
Great
Fest.
name.
I'll show you a picture. They all had t-shirts. Like the family just decided to do like a family reunion. And it was like, I swear I was looking at, and if you didn't know that this was Shanky Fest, you would have thought this is just a festival down the country. It was
Right.
a field full of Shankies.
Oh my God. It was a big Shanky reunion.
Yeah.
Wow.
All on pints.
Was there any Shanky Panky?
I couldn't tell you now. I wasn't there. You'd have to ask himself. Look like the t-shirts they even had designed.
That's actually quite well made.
Isn't it?
Shankfest, 29th of June, Nobber. Can I get one of them?
I want to get one. I mean, that's the thing now. When I was at Taylor Swift the weekend, Jesus, I went up, I thought maybe I'll buy a t-shirt now for myself or a jumper. €75 for a jumper.
Oh my God.
No, thank you.
What about t-shirts? 45.
45.
Yeah.
Yeah, 45.50.
That's too much. Tell me all about Swift.
Now, I have to be honest, right? One of the nicest crowds, as in, no rowdiness.
Well, yeah, well, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if a bunch of 10-year-old girls were shanking each other.
I know, but they'd spot the weakness in me. If anyone's going to shank me, they could probably.
Yeah.
But lovely crowd. I was dreading it going in because I'd never been to a gig in the Aviva as well. I didn't know what to expect because there's times in Croke Park where, honest to Jesus now, you'd be queuing for a long time and
Yeah.
it's rowdy. But this was lovely, and it was so funny because I came home and there was a video of a metal gig where they were passing a Portaloo. A Portaloo was crowd surfing across.
Wow. See, that's my kind of
That's
crowd.
your kind. I thought of you actually when
Yeah.
I saw it. I was like, yeah, there's Kevin passing it along. So lovely crowd. Seats were class actually, and she was 3 hours 40 minutes on stage. That is outstanding. Like absolute machine. I know, like I love the songs, but there was just a little element at times of this is very scripted, like to the movement on stage, to the hand wave, to where she stood,
Like the Queen waving at people.
yeah, in a specific area, and like
What did she say? What's her crowd banter?
very scripted, like as in, this is the best gig I've ever had, you guys. And you're
Wow.
like, you've said that at every single gig. And I think there's like a collective eye roll in the crowd of like, yeah, we know. Like you say this to everyone,
Yeah.
which is good.
I
mean,
sometimes say like, this is the best crowd I've ever had. And then I'll say like last night's crowd, and I'll name the town. I say they were absolutely awful. And just
Right.
really, really destroy, even though I do that in every town.
Well, it would be lovely if she'd said her last gig was awful because it was London. So I think the
Yeah.
Irish would have lost their minds if she had said that.
They were, I was doing a gig for a bunch of joyless towns. But you guys are amazing.
Up the rat.
Ooh, up the Ra. I like the idea of somebody like saying to her, Irish people are really big into like the sun god, the Egyptian sun god Ra. So if you say up the Ra, they will lose their
But see, there's a
minds.
segment in it, in this song, We Are Never Getting Back Together, where she like turns to one of her dancers and gives them the mic to say a line. And even in
What
like
line?
a fuck off type thing, right? But he says, Pogue Mahon, right? So that's what he said. And the crowd were like, wow. And then
They did some research.
Then I literally went home and saw like in England it was like up yours wanker is what she said. And the second night even she said something different.
the neck on
the
you.
neck you.
The
Yeah,
neck
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I mean, that's more of a deeper cut.
Yeah.
Pogue Mahon's fairly American
Right,
tourist who's
that's
just
more
arrived
touristy.
here. But the neck and you, they've
That's
been here
some
for a couple
little
of days.
research, yeah.
Somebody in the pub told them that.
There's some good team research going
Yeah.
on there. Yeah.
That'd be another good one.
This here, leave it out.
What about, where did you get your shades from? What's nuts? That's real deep cut.
I know, but that wouldn't make
Where'd you
sense.
get your shades?
It's meant to be like a feck off type
All right,
thing.
okay.
This is what I was trying to think of ones that would work.
Sorry,
me hole.
So yeah,
Oh, a bit of a woman. I did not try to sweeten her up or something. I love that. Oh,
so it was quite scripted.
yeah.
There wasn't a lot of, but to be honest, sometimes you're at a gig and an American performer can do some crowd banter, and we don't like it.
Oh, well, I'll tell you now. I went to Bon
we like
Jovi.
okay. Hold on. We like natural banter.
Yeah.
My dad brought my dad to see Eric Clapton, and he never spoke to the audience once. My dad was not happy.
Stop.
Not happy. He just sits up there and he plays. It was like, listen to a CD, Kevin. And I was like, what do you really want? And he's like, just how he's getting on.
Well, that is mental
Great to
now.
be here.
That's
it was
with
a bit,
zero reaction, that
it was a bit
interaction.
ignorant. But then I went to see St. Vincent a couple of years ago, and she clearly does this at every gig. Before a song, she was like, yesterday I went to my window and I looked out the window and the sun was shining on a robin, and the robin tweeted at me, and I could just hear the audience just going like, stop talking. You're making us really uncomfortable with this level of sincerity. We just want
Fake sincerity.
Yeah, we just want how's it going?
I know, just a
You
bit
might
of that.
remember this one from a Vodafone ad that came out there a couple of years ago.
No, honestly, I and that's the thing. Like, I remember being at Bon Jovi in Slane, and the fucker came out and said, "Hello, Dublin." Well, did I lose my mind? Because he's in Meath, County fucking Meath, and they always do that. A
Yeah.
load of artists do that, and it pisses me off. They just think Dublin. That's all they know, and that equally as I suppose as someone from the country, I get very, very.
If Bon Jovi isn't willing to just learn rudimentary geography of our little
Honest to God, this is the thing, and that's so generic of like going to any. So like it could happen in any country. You go and do a gig in Manchester and you say hello, London. Like if they do that now, my God.
Oh, that would really grind your gears. So 3.5 hours, a bit long. Are all our songs about breaking up?
No, and there's like 2 albums that are dedicated to like purely like not her. Like they're all
Concept albums?
yes.
Like what about the universe and stuff?
Well,
It's like Rush.
no, kind of like majority of her songs are like personal, but she did 2 albums, Evermore and Folklore, that are completely just about other characters that she's made up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of
And what-
country vibe to them.
What happens to these characters? Or did they break up with people by any chance?
Pretty much.
Do you know what? At what point do you start going, Taylor, maybe you're the issue here?
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem.
Like,
It's
if
me.
you-
She's covered that,
If
Kevin.
you've a mate who like just keeps breaking up with people, like
I know.
15 times in a row.
What's
It's
the
like,
common denominator? I felt that way about myself, Kevin. And then she brought out Anti-Hero. I'm like, yes, this speaks to me. But then you listen to the breakup songs and I'm like, yeah, no, that guy was like that to me, the bollocks. There's a lot.
You felt seen.
Oh, yeah. And there's such gorgeous lyrics in some of them. Like, I cried at it and I wasn't expecting that now. But then, like, there's a line in one of her songs and it's like...
You cried, was this after you spent €70 on a jumper?
I cried, yeah.
€70? Can I get that tap back, please?
Our tickets were 140.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's double. That's 2 jumpers.
That's nuts, man.
Isn't it? And we had class seats, but they were cheap tickets. Like, honest to God, there were people standing that told me they were paying like 400, 350.
Oh my God.
And the thing is with standing, I'm actually so glad. That's the first concert I think I've really been at that I was seated. I would do it time and time again now because
You're getting old.
I'm getting old. And also, for a gig that goes on that long, you're up in the front, class, loving life. What if you have to go piss? Your space is gone.
Your space is gone.
Absolutely.
I think, would you ever wear a nappy at a gig?
This is what all they were doing in America. Not a hope in hell. Taylor Swift fans, genuinely.
Big old nappies.
There was people selling contact lenses that they wore to the gig on eBay so that you could have seen in a way.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, no, honest to God, it's insane. I went...
Contact lenses that once glimpsed Taylor Swift.
I know.
Oh my
like,
God.
it's demented level. And I'm not like that. You know, like, I like the songs in that.
You're not
but
that demented, no.
No, not far off. Maybe demented in other ways, but not that kind of way. But like...
I don't know anyone that I'd be that excited about.
No,
who's
no,
still alive.
No. Yeah, no way. Not a hope in hell. It's demented, but like, it's nice. There's a nice element to like people sharing friendship bracelets and all this and all that kind of for young people.
All I could think when I heard that news was like somewhere in Ireland, some lad has just bought a fucking truckload of friendship bracelets from China. And he's furiously making them. I was like, fair play to him. Some lad's going to make a mint on that.
But like, I'd love to get one that just says lovely cans or something like that.
Yeah.
You know.
I think in America they would think you're talking about somebody's ass.
Yeah, or tits. I think cans are tits.
Are cans not, as a can, not an ass?
I think it's boobs.
Remember in Homer got in trouble? Her sweet, sweet can.
Because I once had a boyfriend, Kevin. I
You're
know
thinking
it's
of
shocking.
jugs. Don't get jugs mixed
No,
up
I'm
with
not.
cans.
It's cans because I remember I once had a boyfriend a long time ago. But I, as you know, big fan of Smithwick's, and we went to the Smithwick's factory in Kilkenny.
On a date?
Yeah.
Did you
can do a tour.
Did you go, is this the date?
I don't know. But we went anyway, and that was lovely. But throughout the tour, this guy kept looking at my chest, and I was like, man, there is nothing there. And it was the weirdest thing, right? And then at the end of the tour, he was like, are you Justine? I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, I have something for you. And basically my boyfriend had gotten me, oh my God, my ex, had gotten me a Smithwick's glass engraved with lovely cans. And your man kept looking at my chest because he was like, where are these lovely cans of which you speak?
I was kind of looking for a Justine with bigger tits, but are you the only Justine here? Well, I got a present for you.
And then he was evidently confused, being like, he realised, well, obviously it can't mean that because she doesn't have it. And he was like, what? I thought that meant big boobs or something. I was like, no, like cans of alcohol. He's like, oh, right.
That's what he said?
He said that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Honest to Jesus.
Oh my God, Justine.
But it's a great story. I mean, it's like the guy who trolls me, who constantly, without fail, like every 2 months, writes on my posts, still no tits. As though,
my God.
So when are they going to come in? You're like,
When is this girl going to hit 15?
Lovely stuff.
This show is part of HeadStuff Podcasts. Here's another show you might like.
I Know That Face is a movie podcast on the HeadStuff Podcast Network, hosted by me, Stephen Porzio.
And me, Andrew Carroll. Our show is all about character actors. The type of performers you'll see pop up in supporting roles in blockbusters. The type of people you know the faces but not the names.
Each episode we pick one particular character actor and discuss a couple of their movies, shining a light on the performer's career while giving listeners plenty of movie recommendations. So the show is a must for cinema lovers.
Subscribe to I Know That Face wherever you get podcasts and follow us on Twitter at I Know That Face P1.
Because I've noticed like there's 2 outfits that guys and girls wear to festivals. If you're a guy, you'll wear like a county jersey, which makes no sense to me. It's like you just want to meet other lads from your county. Sunglasses, bucket hat, runners that are just soaking. They're just absolutely soaking. the runners are just made from cloth.
The runners are for the bin tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'd always
you're
do that
gonna
with a
bin them
festival. I'd
runners.
bring boots that are for the bin anyway.
And then girls will wear like a big dumb hat, sunglasses, and then like a sort of a top that looks knitted, like a crocheted
Yes.
white
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
booby top.
I wouldn't have went about them.
And still no tits. And both outfits, I don't think are very practical. I like to have a big dirty pair of boots.
Yeah, same.
I got a pair of army trousers from a surplus shop.
Plenty of pockets.
Plenty of pockets, man. Sometimes I'll bring a poncho to a festival.
Do you know,
You can lie down in it. You can cover yourself if it rains.
Yeah,
It's very, very practical. And you look like Clint Eastwood.
What's not to love?
I'm thinking of getting a fanny pack.
Right.
You know?
That's a big moment.
But I don't want it to look like a fashion statement. I want it
You're
to be
a practical.
I'm a practical
Well, then you just
man.
go for like just the colour black or something that it looks like.
Yeah.
You know, if you go for a luminous colour, you're asking for trouble.
not
there.
like your top.
No.
It's too eye catching.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, I was looking around me at the gig, being like, Jesus, now you'll be cold going home.
you'll be freezing going on.
And because I was between bringing two jackets. One looked better with the outfit, but the other one was more practical and longer. And I was like, well, I'm taking the practical one. You better believe it. I wasn't going with the outlook of maybe I'll meet a man here. Do you know what I mean? At a Taylor Swift gig, probably not going to
No,
happen.
you could meet a best friend who's a man.
You know what? I made really good friends with the taxi man that brought me in because he started
Probably looking for a ticket.
heard my accent and lad in his 50s, pure dub. We started talking about the GAA and that's kind of my thing. I'm on a roll then. Anyway, then he asked where I was from and then lo and behold he's like, do you mind if I ring my friend? I was like, oh God, here we go. Anyway, he rang the friend, put him on speakerphone. Second man started speaking. I was like, I know why you called him. A lad from Meath. I knew by the accent instantly. And he was from up the road, lives beside my auntie. It was a mad journey. And he gave me his number afterwards, not for those reasons, but because he's like, if you're stuck for a taxi later on.
No way.
He's like, because this place is going to be rammed. He's like, and if you're out tomorrow, because there was gigs all weekend, he's like, let me know and I'll sort you out.
So being from Meath was an advantage.
And this guy was from Cabra.
Yeah.
So like pure, and we were talking about the rivalry in Meath and Dublin back in the day, the good old days, like.
Yeah.
You know, and when Meaths were decent at football, and it was lovely. It was lovely. And I said to him, I was like, you know, even we're talking about Hill 16 and the etiquette of it, and I said, I don't enjoy when people from Meath go in there versus Dublin because you're asking for trouble.
Well,
you're looking for it.
Hill 16 is famously Dublin only.
Exactly. So going in there, you're very brazen, and I don't enjoy when.
Yeah, it's rude.
It is. I
It's
think so.
rude.
I think so.
Yeah, stick to your own little area.
Completely. Like you've
I
three
think we
other.
should build a wall.
This is what I was saying to him. You know, but no, I wasn't going to the.
Like I wouldn't expect now my daughter to come home with a Meath man, and I'd run her. I would run her now, and I'd expect the same from a Meath family. I wouldn't send. Let's keep the bloodlines separate and pure. I've got festival tips for you.
Okay.
Tips for it's festival season, Justine.
It is festival season.
We're moving into festivals. You're going to be going to festivals. It could be your first festival you're ever going to. So we've been to a lot of festivals and we know the score at this stage. So here's some helpful tips. Number one, we touched on it. Don't bother dressing to be fancy.
Jesus, no, you're wasting your time. And you know
You're
what?
wasting it. You're going to look like shit.
And here's the thing. I actually think now a fella would respect me more at a festival because I dress practically.
I think if you had a good Umbro top
100%.
and a solid set of hiking boots,
Yeah.
a lad would be looking you up and down going, this woman knows how to
It's
dress for a
that
festival."
coupled with I don't have the possibility of dressing to show off my assets because they don't exist. But that's
Fair
a
enough.
little surprise that they won't find out till later.
Oh yeah, that's like unwrapping a lovely present that's wrapped horribly.
It's just an empty box.
So yeah, don't bother dressing for Instagram.
No.
Dress for the weather.
Yeah.
Wet
very-
wipes.
Oh, essential.
Stick a packet of wet wipes in the freezer.
Right.
And then when you bring it down, when you're covered in like grime and it's been a hot day, you've got some ice cold wet wipes to basically give yourself a cool shower.
If you use them within the first 2 hours of them being in the freezer.
They'd still be cold like 6 hours later. They would still be cold, just
Cold, yeah.
Wet wipes. Fanny pack, I touched on that. Bring
Yes.
a fanny pack.
Oh, yeah.
Never lean against a wall.
No.
Walls are just covered in piss. And sometimes you see young people like sitting down on the ground, leaning against a wall. That has just litres of piss from lads. So don't ever lean against the wall.
Stood him up against the wall.
They stood him up again.
In the middle of the field.
One bullet. Bang,
Bang,
bang. When you're getting your wristband on,
Oh, yeah.
put it on the opposite wrist that you wipe with.
Yeah, wasn't sure where that W was going to go after that.
I mean, it kind of put it on your weak wrist, basically.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
That covers all ground.
Put your wristband on your weak wrist because you don't want that getting involved in anything you do. With
You don't want it stained.
With your.
You don't want it
All right,
stained.
Justine.
There you go.
Let me see. If you're drinking a can in a tent, take off your shoe and put the can in your shoe.
That is genius now.
Yeah.
That is absolutely
Because
genius.
you get in a tent, you're hanging out with your mates, having a great time. You put it on the uneven surface of a tent floor. It's going to fall down, guys. It's going to fall down. Stick it in your big shoe. It won't go anywhere.
Do you know what, though? That's a tip you can take into the rest of your life.
Well,
'cause
all right. Don't go to a pub, take off your shoe and put your pint in your shoe.
I mean, like cans in the park.
Oh, yeah, cans in the park. It applies to cans and uneven surfaces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you find yourself sitting in the bouncy castle.
If you're drinking in a bouncy castle covered in children, take off your shoe. You'll have your shoe off anyway. Take a child's
This
shoe.
is
If you've got a
exactly-
smaller, if you're drinking shots, maybe.
You know the little White Claw cans?
Take,
or shot, yeah.
If you're drinking shots,
Baby
take a
Guinness.
3-year-old shoe and stick your shot glass in the child's shoe. And if the mother complains, just say, chill out,
Just
Mom.
give her the shot.
Give her the shot. Tell her, relax. Smuggling drinking.
No, yeah. There's creative ways to go about it.
So they're going to pat you down. They're going to touch you up, guys. So I went into I went into LCD Sound System. I had a hip flask full of whiskey, right?
Yes.
Which you're not allowed to bring in.
Yeah.
So what I did was I put the hip flask down my crotch. They'll rarely touch your crotch, but they might lift up your shirt.
There you go.
And you might get a glimpse of something there.
Yeah.
So I also had, it was like a squeezy bag that a sort of a cowboy would drink out of.
Yeah.
Made out of like cow skin. So I filled that up full of water and then I was coming in through the... My wife told me to not tell anyone this story, but...
Here we are. It's a safe place.
She was like, I don't think you come across as well as you think you are. I thought I came across very well in this story.
We'll decide.
But I was coming through security. I had my squeezy water bag in my little bag. And your man's like, well, how's it going? Have you anything in here? And I was like, no, just water. And he goes, don't worry about water. And I was like, sure, I could have vodka or anything in that. And he goes, well, do you? And I was like, no. And I squeezed off the top. And to drink it, you need to sort of squirt it into your mouth.
Right.
And I was like holding it up to him, his mouth to drink. And he was like, what are you doing? And I squirted. I thought he'd open his mouth and he didn't. So I just squirted him in the face with water. And then he was like, what the fuck are you doing? And he grabbed it off me and squirted it in my face. Everyone around me had a big laugh. But he was totally distracted. He didn't even look
amazing.
anywhere in my body. He was like, get in, you pup, you. Now, that could have backfired
Hugely.
awfully.
Yeah,
I would never try that in any other country.
Yeah, no.
If you tried that in England,
Jesus, no, you're out.
you're out in your ear.
Yeah.
But if you do it with the right attitude in Ireland,
Yeah.
you can do almost anything if it's in the name of good crack.
This is it.
Now, if I was cheeky, no, you can be cheeky, but if I was ignorant,
Yeah.
he would have kicked me out.
Completely.
But I was a cheeky boy.
Cheeky boy.
And he was like, get in, you scamp, have a great time. So there's, smuggling, drinking. I'd actually go further. I would get, talk to somebody in the medical profession and get a colostomy bag. Stick a colostomy bag down your pants, fill that up full of alcohol. If a bouncer touches that, you're just like, that's my colostomy bag.
Yes,
He's going to be so embarrassed. And he's just, go on, yeah, of course.
the only fear I have with that is, and it is just my luck, that when I get that bag, suddenly the news has an article about there's a shortage of colostomy bags because of everyone doing this at festivals.
Oh, yeah.
And I would be like, Jesus, now we've taken the crack too far for people who genuinely need these.
I thought you were going to say you would have another colostomy bag just to stop going to the toilet. And then you get them mixed up.
No.
Oh, yeah. If you want to smuggle drugs in, stick them up a dog's bum.
Yes.
Bring your dog in.
Of
stick them up a
course.
dog's
I
bum.
always bring my dog to festivals.
If the sniffer dogs are there, they'll sniff the other dog's bum and they'll just think, oh, it's just a horny dog.
Yeah. Now, on that though, Do dogs actually? Do you have to pay for a ticket for your dog?
Yeah, you do, Justine. There's special dog tickets for festivals. Yeah,
I just wondering that now. I
they,
don't.
they
Obviously,
pay
you don't
half
have to
price because
pay.
they can't see the
Like a
stage.
baby on a plane, like
Baby on a plane is free
up until
up
what?
until 3 or something.
Up until 3.
So I think animals are free up until horses.
Up.
I think you're allowed to bring dogs or cats or pigs.
Or a small donkey.
A Shetland is fine.
Shetland pony is
But if you want to bring a horse to a festival, he's taking up a lot of space. People can't see.
Do they? Oh, the guards do have horses out.
They got horses, I think. Yeah. All the ketamine.
Yeah.
They're attracted to it. When you're getting through crowds at a gig, so I think the habit people have when they're getting through crowds is to try and be really polite. And they're like, sorry, my friends are over there. Do you mind just excusing? I just want to get just over there to my friends. They're right there. I can see my friends. Do you mind just moving? And some people are really ignorant. And some people will just literally wall you.
Yeah.
They will stand like a wall. They're not letting you anywhere. So I think you need to sound like a bouncer who's responding to a problem.
An incident.
So when you're getting through crowds, you say, excuse me there, folks. Excuse me, folks. All right, folks, move to the side. Move to the side there, folks.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And when people hear that tone, they immediately move because they think, oh, there's something wrong.
Yeah. I know you say that, but when I hear that tone, I think, how rude. And I feel like...
You don't think that's a security man?
I'd like to see his identification.
He's gone. That I tried it. Where was I? I was at a gig in was it Queens of Stone Age or something? I tried it and I couldn't believe how well it worked.
Well, it worked.
I couldn't believe people immediately move out of the way.
Yeah.
With that tone of authority,
Yeah.
people go, oh shit, okay, sorry. And by the time you're by them, you're by
gone.
them.
You're gone. They
Yeah.
don't have time. They don't have time to check your badge.
No.
Or put on a reflective jacket. I mean, go a little extra.
Oh my God.
You
think
then you're fine.
I think a reflective jacket. I'm going to write
And
that
that
down.
tone. That's the combo there. Because if I just hear the tone, I think that's a very rude person out
But
trying to get by me.
he's gone by you though.
I know, but oh my God, I'm sorry, even in the same way, I remember at EP a couple of years ago, when you're in the centre of a crush, you're like, Jesus Christ.
The centre of a crush.
I'm like...
To our Dublin listeners, a crush is a sort of an animal cage for farmers to give medicine to cattle.
That's what it feels like. 'Cause you're
Can't
like,
say things like that. Like, I just expect Dubliners to know what you're talking about.
Be my translator there. In the middle of a crowd, like it's really crowded, and
Yes.
you're like, it feels like you're in a crush, as described by Kevin. I honestly, God, me and Michael Fry a couple of years back were on EP in a queue together, and Billie Eilish was announced coming onto main stage, and I was like, this is how people die. Honest to God, I was like, we're close to being trampled. Like, it was terrifying. Terrifying. You could not move. It was as if you were off your feet. You could not. The rush, people, I honestly was like, this is how it happens.
This is how I go.
No, but it was really scary in the sense of like, this is how, 'cause you see that in news of like people being injured or people that have died at festivals through that process. I've never fully understood it until that moment. I was like, this is fucking terrifying.
I did remember once trying to get more room at a gig and I pretended I lost my contact lens. And it worked because a lot of people are kind of off their heads. And you're just like, sorry, I lost my contact lens. And people kind of get out of the way.
That's nice.
But then one lad just tried to help me find it. It's okay, I just wanted more space.
Oh. He's my kind of guy, I feel like.
Yeah, he was a decent human being. Keep a crew small. No, big thing we always do at festivals is we try and like meet up with every person we ever know. Never works. And when you're trying to move as a unit, it's impossible because one member of your group will see somebody they know, that's a 5-minute chat.
Yeah.
Then somebody else will see somebody they know, that's a 5-minute chat. Like, can you imagine if you were in Vietnam in the war?
Oh yeah, and you're just having a bit of chill time and you're trying to see a gig.
No, you're heading to do a mission. You're heading down to the next town to clear it out. And like your team keeps running into people they know. They're going to be stopping chatting the whole time.
Taking selfies.
Where are you going after this, man?
Taking off their shoe to put their can in it. You know how it is.
Or see at the main stage. So keep a tight crew. I'd keep a crew of about like 6 at the most.
But that's the thing. Anytime you go to a festival, I'll come home and my phone is inundated with like, where are you? We're going to meet here. And like people, it's always a moment of like, let's catch up with everyone we know our whole life.
Yeah.
It doesn't work out. I'd be trying to be like, I'm at this tree. And they're like, well, I'm at this tree. I'm like, look, there's no hope here.
I think the ultimate crack is just having one buddy.
Yeah.
Having one buddy,
Who's on the same plane, like on
same
this,
buzz as you.
Yeah.
And you end up having way more different adventures because you move on a lot. You're like,
Totally.
we fuck off, let's go somewhere else. Yeah, sounds good.
I
Let's go to
do
the woods.
think
Let's
the
do
buddy
that.
system is the way to go.
Buddy system is the right way to go.
Yeah, but they have to be on the same buzz. That is the only thing. Because if you're ever one of those friends who's like dead set on, we need to be at this stage at this exact time for this, and you're like, but let's go with the flow a little. Don't get me wrong. There's the main acts we need to see that we're both.
I remember Electric Picnic on like Sunday night, pretty much Monday morning. It was bright, and we were at the Salty Dog stage. Myself, my friend Trevor, and the Foil Arms and Hog crew.
Yeah.
And there's some people we met, and then these pissed off English bouncers came in. They're always like English or Scottish
or
security.
Scottish. You're like, it's
And
gas.
they came in, and it was like, it must have been 6 a.m, I'd say. And they came in and they were so pissed off. And they're like, right, everyone get out of here right now. And we're like, all right, yeah, just chill out, man. Yeah, we're just heading off now. We're just sort of chatting here. And goes, no, and like, I'm fucking sick of you, Irish. And we're like, oh, it's a race thing now, is it? And we got like ridiculously over offended. It's like 800 years, and now we're getting abused by bouncers.
But come on, what was he thinking saying that?
He was very annoyed
That
with
was
us.
stupid.
Like, but he said, in 20 minutes, I'm going to shoot corner. I'm going to sweep in here and move you all out. And we started to piss ourselves laughing. We were like, yeah, man, we know guards. Like, if there's guards here, they're sitting in a car waiting for this whole thing to blow over. They're not going to sweep in on helicopters down lines and start like handcuffing lads.
The horses are back in the shed.
They're going to dawdle in at about 9 o'clock and like pick up a few like asleep people. I'm going to shoot corner. I'm going to sweep in and arrest you all. And we could not stop laughing.
Like even the idea of that being in a film is hilarious. Like of that, you're like, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah. If you feel like you're a little bit claustrophobic at gigs, cover your body in spikes. Like wear a lot of spiky clothes.
If you can get them in.
Like like punks used to wear these jackets with spikes on them.
Become a human hedgehog.
Become a human hedgehog. Ideally, you want a jacket that you can reveal the spikes like a hedgehog.
Yes, they can come out.
So
and go
like
back in.
if maybe you might want to cuddle somebody later.
Yeah.
You put the spikes back.
They're
and then
away.
have a little cuddle. But then if you're waiting for Billie Eilish to come on,
Yeah.
and the people are all over you, get the spikes out.
Back out again. Yeah, again, getting it in might be difficult. Sharp objects. Depends on the outfit, I suppose.
That is true.
I'd hate to be responsible for someone losing an eye, like that's...
God, wouldn't we all, Justine?
What? It just wouldn't sit right with me.
Yeah, they're kind of my festival tips. Do you have any other festival tips?
Don't be riding. I honestly,
Yeah,
look it.
don't be
The
riding.
moment of passion, go with the flow, be safe, obviously. But I just think it's
Don't be riding.
overrated. It's overrated. I don't know. I've never done it, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But even shifting at it, it's messy.
I think it'd be okay to ride someone you're going out with.
Yes,
But
obviously.
I wouldn't ride a stranger at a festival.
No, this isn't the way you need to experience me for the first time.
Because you know the way, like,
I don't
you
smell
know,
good. I haven't showered.
Yeah. You know when you wake up in a tent the next morning and it's sunny and the tent feels awful
And the smell.
and your own smell.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a stranger's smell
Not a
plus
hope.
sex put onto that?
Not a hope in hell would I go through it.
It's rotten.
No way.
Lovely stuff.
I don't know, Kevin. I had the weirdest experience yesterday.
I don't know, Kevin.
I don't know, man. Just what we're talking about, guys. I literally was walking through town and this guy stopped me and he's like, "Are you that funny bird?" I was like, yeah. I kept walking away and he was like, come here. And he goes, "What are you doing?" I was like, huh? I was like, I was out in RT, I was after doing recording. And he's like, "What are you doing now though?" I'm like, he's like, "You getting a coffee?" And I was like, "No, I'm going home." And he's like, "All right."
Was this...
He was asking me out.
Was this... I'm trying to get the tone right here.
Yeah.
Was this eager or was this forceful?
Somewhere in between. I think more eager though. More eager.
Because there's a difference between like... Not that I would...
It's pushy though.
Not,
It's
yeah,
pushy.
yeah, not that I think this is a good way to chat girls up.
No.
But there's a slight difference between like, what are you doing now? And what are you doing now?
It was that. And because he put me on the spot to be like, what? And I completely blanked. I'm like, who am I actually?
Like a different accent. Like, what are you doing now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey.
I'm nothing. Are you getting a coffee?
But like even saying that made no sense. I'm like, surely you would have said, would you like to get a
Would you
coffee?
like to get a
Are you
coffee?
getting a coffee? What an insane
Are you getting a drink?
middle of town.
Yeah.
I'm just
Are
walking.
you going for a pint? Yeah, do you know what? It's removing a little bit of.
It was insane.
It's removing a little bit of his. I don't know what the word is. He doesn't. Yeah, it's less. It takes less confidence.
Mystery.
It takes less confidence to say like, "Oh, you going for a coffee now?" Then would you like to
That's
go
the
for
thing.
a coffee?
Yeah.
That takes confidence.
But it just left me more confused. But then this guy was confident because the way he pulled me back to be
You
like,
going for a
hey, come
meal?
back.
You go down to the wax museum, yeah.
It was
I wasn't.
insane. The way, and then I left just so confused.
Yeah.
It was a bizarre encounter. But like,
Was he in any way charming?
had things gone differently, maybe. Not a bad looking fella now.
Not a bad looking fella.
But a lad I'd say in his 40s now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'd be better at it.
You
at that
would
stage.
think, which again is a concern. You're like, okay, well, that's not a good sign. But then
You probably caught him on the hop. He saw
Yeah.
you. Oh, that's the girl I
I think that's probably an aspect to it. But then I was thinking tonight or last night, I was like, I'll get a message now from this fella. No idea who he is. Didn't get a
He
message.
probably doesn't know your name.
That's the thing. You're that funny bird. And I'm like, what were you expecting to come from this encounter? I was at Pride on Saturday. The amount of people that stopped me, I was like, oh my God.
Are you a gay icon?
The term was thrown around.
Yeah.
People were saying, you're an icon. I'm like, oh my God. I got so many photos. It was incredible. I couldn't get over the amount of people. I was like, that's probably the most I've had people interacting with me.
Yeah.
It was class. But
They're hip. They're young. They're
so
on the internet.
cool. I was
They
like,
know you.
It was actually the biggest compliment to me,
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
honest. That like they see me as like funny and
Yeah.
the amount of photos. I was like, this is unreal. It was so lovely.
Any dates?
I felt so welcomed.
Do you got any dates?
No, I was leaving early because I had to be in RT the next morning. That I was like, I can't ruin my voice.
Fair enough.
But yeah, first dates won't leave, and I had to reject first dates because I was like, I'm not doing that. Not a hope in hell. I'll be made a show of. The edit will make me look like a bollocks or whatever. And I'm like, there's no good come for this. Also, it's not a real date in my mind. That is not going on a real date. I can't talk and curse because that'll be cut out. I curse, okay? And that's like something a guy should know from the first date because
Yeah,
if
you
he's not
curse.
into a bit of vulgar language, you may go home.
You curse like a harbour chick, like a docker.
The mouth of a sailor or something like that. I don't know.
Anything associated with the sea, I
The
think.
sea for some
Seems
reason.
to be a lot of cursing on the sea.
Yeah, scurvy and cursing.
As soon as you get to the docks, you just start cursing like mad.
So maybe I need to just date a fisherman.
Oh, there you go.
Oh wow!
Maybe like one of the lads off the Bird's Eye ads.
Oh my
Put
God!
my
yeah.
idea on file in a filing cabinet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I love
there you go.
fish as well.
There
That'd be
you go.
great.
Some of your big yellow overalls,
Yeah,
big waterproof overalls. Imagine just
he'll
like
need them. He'll get the use out of them.
who do you base your sort of dating personality on anyone?
What does that mean?
Okay, when I was dating, I think I modelled my sort of dating persona on Bill Murray.
Oh wow! Okay,
Yeah, I think I was like, be like Bill Murray.
cool.
I liked the way he flirted with women in movies.
I'd like to think I'd be a bit of a Jennifer Lawrence, but what a stretch! Like I just think I'd be.
Kooky.
Yeah.
Tripping over stuff, reading the
I'm-
menu upside down.
Yes.
Sorry, I can't do anything. I'm such a
What
klutz.
am I like?
Yeah, she's a gorgeous klutz, isn't
I
she?
mean, Emma Stone is the dream, but I'm
Emma
not
Stone.
an Emma Stone. I'm not going to even kid myself to think that I am.
I mean, you're closer to Stone than you are to Lawrence.
Do you think?
The hair.
Be God, yeah. Oh Lord, no! If only. But yeah, I'm
a good
trying
dancer.
to think of.
Did you ever see her dance?
Oh, unbelievable!
She can
I'm
move.
trying to think of movie comparisons though of women on dates. Like who the hell? I don't know who's coming to mind. I don't know. I'm a bit like I don't. Yeah, I don't have a filter, and I'm not going to put up a filter. I'll eat a burger or wings on a first date because you need to know what you're getting yourself into.
I've
here.
heard you eat both sometimes.
So there's no point. I'm not someone who's going to hide who I actually am for you to find out. Now you're going to find out after a while. I am mental.
I think if you're on a date with a girl and she had a big old bowl of wings and she just destroyed them and just all over her face, you'd be like, well, this girl's very comfortable in her own skin.
Yeah.
This girl has, she immediately makes me feel comfortable.
Yeah.
If she's at ease, it puts you at ease. It's probably not a bad move.
It's all about the crack though. But like, there's times where I have been on dates.
Do you
with
want some of
lads.
these as well? So you want someone with confidence, but not so much confidence that they leave you.
Yes.
You want a gentleman, but a bad boy.
Yeah.
You want a bad boy gentleman.
Yeah.
Somebody who's got a nice pair of trousers, but a leather jacket.
Yeah. I
Like
think.
a motorbike, but wears a helmet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
now we're
sensible,
talking.
but he's a bad boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard thing. Also, as well, if you're a funny woman, I think a lot of men are intimidated
Oh, and I've
by that.
literally had that.
Yeah.
It's horrible. You know,
you're actually quite funny.
a guy told me once that I was saying, "Could you not be so funny with my friends?" He literally said those words because he couldn't handle that they were laughing at my stuff and nothing that he said.
What was his stuff like?
He hadn't jokes. I remember showing him before. I think you should leave. He over his head, didn't understand, didn't laugh. I was like,
Did he do like a Borat impression or anything like that? My wife, hi. Sounds like you need like a divorcee.
Someone who's been through the
Somebody's
through the
been
rough.
through it and is like half bored with life
Right.
and very comfortable just standing in a room.
I don't
by
know,
himself.
because I have a bizarre side to me. Not bizarre, really, but I'm like, God, I love love. Like, I love being like,
I love love, so I do.
yes, I do. And you'd be with someone, you'd be like, let's not go to work tomorrow and let's go to Newcastle.
Yeah.
And then we do that and we have a great day out at the
Photo
beach.
Wildlife Park.
You know, I've done that so many times. I love that. It never really lasts, but it's nice in the moment.
Yeah.
I want someone who's into.
You still want a bit of romance.
I do, and that guy did not have any romance either. The guy who was taking some back. I want romance. Am I asking for too much?
I don't know. I mean, he's out there somewhere, Justine. But you're not going to find him at Taylor Swift concerts.
No.
I don't know where. You'd probably find him. Oh God, where would you find him? Where is he?
Because you want someone who appreciates country as well, but isn't. You know.
I don't know. I think the country thing. I don't think you need.
I don't think I need, but it'd be a nice little advantage.
No, I don't think it is.
Really.
What's the benefit? Just so he gets your Joe Dolan references.
Yeah.
There's more to life than Joe Dolan references, Justine.
I know.
You need to put your happiness ahead of like, do you remember that What's Nuts on the Den? He's like, I don't know what What's Nuts is.
See, I need that. I need someone that even on a
Get
first
that's what
date-
you get from your friends. Get that from your friends.
I don't know. I feel like they should be a friend and that. Like, I want to be.
There's your problem. Now we've got to the root of the issue here. You want a lover who's also a friend. No.
How are they not the same thing?
No.
That's insane now. I don't want a lover who's not my friend.
I think that's a bullshit concept.
I don't know how that.
Romantic movies made up.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Like, my dream is to be on a first date with someone and maybe they come in wearing sunglasses and I go, where'd you get your shades? And they know exactly what I'm talking about.
God.
Why though?
Because you can't look for a friend and a lover at the same time.
I don't know now.
Your lover will eventually become your friend.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
But
That's what I mean.
Don't look for them at the same time.
Right, okay.
Anyway, this has been Kevin's advice.
Jesus, what a wonderful column to get there now. But like, even speaking of dating, like, and that kind of thing, like, it wrecks my head online seeing the amount of proposal videos that go up. And they're like, how did you do it?
Well, I definitely didn't tell my mate to video it. I think videoing a proposal is insane.
Absolute. No.
But
Okay,
you know my
if you want
my
it, keep it for yourselves. Keep it for yourselves. If you want that,
Sure.
but don't do it preemptively of, I want this video because I want to put it online.
Sure. Yes.
Because that moment should be about
Oh my God,
the
we
Perrier.
could get like 600 likes for this.
That's insane.
Also, my favourite thing to watch is videoed proposals that go wrong.
No.
I love. That's what they say. Yeah, that's what they always say. It's always like, I seen one and it was a guy and a girl with the two friends on a chair lift up, like a ski lift. You know what I mean?
Oh,
A ski
yeah.
lift.
You meant like
And they're
in
on
a
like this-
nursing home. I was like, well, you left it long enough.
Not like the old lady chairs, stairs things.
That's what I was thinking.
No, like a ski lift thing. And he was like, Becca, I've loved you since the moment of 6th grade. And I just want to make you the happiest woman in the world. And she just goes, oh, no. And she like takes him aside. No, listen, no, please, just don't. please, just don't. Okay, what's your problem? Just don't, please. We need to talk about this. We need to just. And the two friends, like a chairlift, a ski lift is like a 15-minute
that's
journey.
a long,
And the two
trip.
gobshite friends are there, just like nobody's saying anything. It's beautiful to watch.
But see, I also don't want to film because I feel like the guy in that scenario is putting it on. It's an act because he knows he's being filmed.
It's
not
a
authentic.
performance.
It's the same reason I can't do first dates because it's not a real date.
real
It's a
date.
performance. It's a fucking performance.
It's once you introduce a camera to it,
It's not real anymore.
it ruins the experiment. Yeah, I'd agree. I think it's a private thing.
Totally. Like
Just do it privately.
my father proposed to my mother.
How do you say that again?
My father.
In my father.
My father proposed to my mother at the blessing of the graves.
Oh,
And he said,
keep going.
these gorgeous words. I wish there was a camera there actually for this. He said, how would you like to be buried with my people?
Oh my God.
And my mother said yes, which I think might be the saddest part of that story.
Oh, I do find that weirdly romantic.
I know, no, it is because of, it is. And I like,
It's kind of romantic,
Yeah,
but it's
honestly.
kind of like cold and morbid.
but in a way,
How
from
would
the
you
man-
like to decompose beside my father? We're standing over my father and my mother's grave, and we could be right beside them for eternity. That's so grim, but it's kind of sweet.
4 weeks and a wedding or
How would you-
something. That's a great movie there now.
How would you like to be buried with my people?
Lovely stuff.
Well, folks, that's all we have time for today.
Yes.
This has been The Lovely Show. My name has been Kevin McGahern.
I'm Justine Stafford.
Join us next week for more chats and banter and fluff and questions and answers. And if you have any issues that you want to get off your chest, and if you want them addressed anonymously, that's fine. Get in touch with us on Instagram, and we'll answer your questions. And we'll give you advice to the best of our abilities.
Give you the best advice for free.
I didn't say it would be the best. Some of it could
The
be
best
very
advice
bad.
for free, though.
Yes, the best advice for
For free. That's what I said.
Yes.
You can hold us to that.
This episode is produced by Hilary. The soundtrack is provided by Demo Dagger. You've been lovely.
No.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, no, good luck.
Bye.
Go on.
This show is part of the HeadStuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with HeadStuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.